been a while since I have filmed a products that I hit pan on video, and I've hit pan in quite a few eyeshadows, so I thought I would go through and share with you guys some of the products that I've hit pan on recently. So I have 4 different eyeshadow palettes here that have pan in them. So I thought I would go through and share with you guys some of the new products I've hit pan on. Some of these have been mentioned in my past videos, but I've hit different eyeshadow pans. So the first one is my Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I have shown this one before, and I have hit pan in 3 in other videos that I've mentioned. So I've almost finished up Vermeer here. I hit pan in Primavera, and it's much bigger than my last video, as is Burnt Orange. But then also there's a little speck of pan that you can see in Cypress Umber. I find that this is a really powdery shadow, so even though I barely use very much of this, I feel like it's so powdery that it hit pan really fast just because of this. I only ever use this in the outer corner, and I still hit pan on it before I hit in Realgar, which I'm surprised by. So that is a shiny new speck of pan. This honestly is a palette that I should probably work on using up because I've had it for way too long at this point, and I know that the shadows in this particular palette get really powdery and not great after a little while, so I'm thinking I should probably focus on this one and work on using that one up. The other palette that you have seen in another version of this video is the Lorac Pro. So I mentioned I have used up this entire palette before in a Pan That palette back in like 2015 or 16, and then I bought a new one and I hit pan in Sable last time. I'd mentioned that, but the pan is a lot bigger. I've also re-hit pan in Mauve, so that one is one that usually goes into my crease, and then Nude, which is just like a champagne shimmery color that I absolutely love. So those two are new pans in Mauve and Nude. Those are my go-to shades that are very simple, easy, everyday. You'll notice a trend in the shades that I like and the palettes that I've hit pan in. So those are ones that are newer pan. I also have my 2 everyday palettes. These are the ones that I've been using the most often for the past year probably. So the first one I have here is my MAC eyeshadow palette here. This is my one that I have collected singles in and made myself. My go-to eyeshadow look pretty much every day for the last year has been these 2 here and then this one. So this one is Naked Lunch, which is a shimmery champagne color. Shocking, I know. It's almost like I use those every day. And then Soft Brown right here. And then I use Cranberry in the crease and outer V most of the time. So those 3 are my go-to. I'm gonna guess that Cranberry is gonna be the next one I hit pan on out of this palette, but those 2 have a lot. I figure I will probably use this one up, Naked Lunch, in the next few months, but this has been my go-to 3 eyeshadow palette that I use almost all the time. The last eyeshadows that I have here are from an eyeshadow palette that I use pretty much every day. This is the Tarte Clay Play palette. This was the first version of it, I think, and it's been discontinued since, but this is my absolute favorite, just basic everyday palette. So inside of it here I have 3 shadows that I've hit pan on. The first one is Solstice, which is a matte cream color that I use on my brow bone pretty much every day. Then Sand here is a matte skin tone color for me that I use in my crease to blend out my crease color pretty much every day. And then Dunes up here is a cool toned brown that I use in my brows a lot of the time. So this palette, there's a lot of shades in here that don't necessarily get a ton of use, but those 3 colors I use basically every single day. So I'm surprised it took me so long to hit pan on them. I'm really glad these 2 shades are bigger ones because they are perfect for everyday use to complete my eye look. But I will continue to work on using this palette because I love those shades. I use this basically every day as a complimentary finish up, kind of round out my eye look palette. So I absolutely love those shades. I love that this one's so easy just to reach for and complement every single eyeshadow palette that I have. And then lastly, I have 3 face products here. So the first one I have is a Marc Jacobs bronzer. This is the Tantastic Omega Bronze. This one I got because everyone was raving about it, but I'll be honest, I don't notice a huge difference with this bronzer. I saw a lot of people raving about it a few years back, and that's why I bought it. I do have a ton of pan on it. It is a huge bronzer, but I just don't feel like it does that much for me. It's fine, but I feel like there's other bronzers that are more noticeable. This one's just like a very basic, it's kind of there, but you can't even really tell. I could probably not use it and still be fine, but I use it pretty much every day because it's Marc Jacobs. It was expensive. I'm gonna use it up. And then I have 2 face powders here. I have been using powder foundation mostly for the last year. I feel like I don't wear foundation, liquid foundation, almost ever anymore because it's just gonna rub off on my mask. So instead of that, I use powder foundation, and I've been really happy with that. I have a Makeup Forever one that I've absolutely loved, but it's in my school bag and it hasn't been being used as as often. So the other powders that I've been using are the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This one's in 130 Buff Beige. This one has pretty significant pan in the middle. I actually have two of these. I think I have one in a darker shade as well, so this is more of my winter shade. I like this powder a lot. I feel like it does a nice job of kind of covering a little bit, but not being overly obvious on the skin. This one I will often pair with a foundation if I am wearing a liquid foundation as just like a setting powder. But yeah, I like this one. I haven't used it in a while. I wore it today, but I haven't used it in a while, so I should probably get back to this one and finish it up. And then the other one that I've been wearing pretty much every day as my main foundation is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation. This one used to be my absolute go-to, and I think they discontinued it now. So this one is in light neutral. I like these a lot. I think the Makeup Forever one that I have right now I like better than this one, and that one's obviously still around. So this one gives really good coverage. I can wear it with a foundation underneath it. I can wear it on its own and it still gives really good coverage. I think I like the Makeup One Forever just a little bit better though. But this one is good. I'm sure I will use this one up in the next few months here because I feel like I went through it fairly quickly to get pan on it. And I have been using it pretty much every day. Those are the products that I have been using pretty frequently in the last year or so, and I've hit a lot of pan. I'm sure some of these you will see in my empties videos before too long, but I thought I'd share the progress that I've made because I feel like sometimes it's hard to hit pan on products. I've been rotating out my blushes a lot, so I feel like I don't have new pan on those. And my eyeshadows have been staying fairly consistent, so I don't have as much eyeshadow pan, but I do feel pretty good about the ones that I do have because those are the ones that I've clearly been using every day. I would love to know if you guys have hit pan on anything recently. It's just like a fun feeling to suddenly see your progress in those products and see like, oh, I'm making progress, I'm using them up. I think it's kind of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.